Welcome to episode 2 of Beastars. The first one was pretty intriguing, just kind of threw you straight into this world and this setting with these anthropomorphic animal characters, and we're just kind of getting used to it. So I definitely want to see what's going to happen with the place where episode 1 left off, with Legosi and Haru in that situation, and finding out how this plot plays out, who this murderer is, and what's going on. I don't know if that's going to be like a couple episode long plot or a whole season's plot. I don't even know if this is going to be 12 episodes or 24. I don't know if it's even been announced. So let's go ahead and watch it and see what happens. We're going to watch and discuss at the end. Got the subtitles and timer on screen if you want to follow along that way. Or you can pull up the episode on your own, but either way, let's get into this thing in 3, 2, 1, play. This is kind of like inside his mind, I think, as he's being affected, like a clam, as he's being affected by this, whatever it was that he inhaled. Oh, okay, no, we're somewhere else entirely. What happened to the episode 1 cliffhanger? What happened? Is this the next day? Does he not remember what happened? And maybe we're gonna get a flashback like from Haru's perspective or something? His usual lifelessness. I don't know, he looks pretty bored. But obviously something happened where inside he's a little more affected than usual. So, okay, that's interesting. Not how I thought we would start. So now we get the OP. Whoa! Look at that, like Fantastic Mr. Fox. Holy shit, the opening is stop motion. Little puppets. That's so cool! While this is playing, let me say real quick that if you enjoy these videos, subscribe to the channel. Beastars comes out every Sunday with other videos every day of the week. Also check out the description down below for Twitter and Discord and Patreon if you want to support this channel and get these videos early and other rewards. But let me pay attention to this. This opening, the song itself is cool, but these visuals are amazing. This is so awesome. Look at it. I never would have expected it to look like this. I love the fountain. There's the visuals other than them too, like them standing on the deer but that is so cool. This stop motion OP, that's amazing. Their little dance. Oh, that's fantastic. That makes me so much more endeared to the show, because that's so cool. Nice. Very simple. Like, we don't have a ton of characters, it's just the two of them, and they do a little dance, but just the idea of doing it that way is awesome. Okay, we are cutting back to this. Good. I wanted to... Good. Oh, she looks terrified. When he's trying to get a hold of himself. Oh. That's actually really creepy. When there's something inside of him telling him to do it. Or somebody outside. So, whoa, hello. Trying to encourage him to go through with it. That looks really awesome. I love the way that... Whoa. I don't know if there's even somebody literally there, or if this is just in his head. but it's pretty creepy. I don't want to look at you. Stop getting closer. Thank you, I agree. Holy shit. Like, this is obviously a mental representation, but there could be somebody literally nearby who caused that smell to be unleashed in the first place. Holy shit, this is like a serious inner struggle going on here. And poor Haru just has to. Oh god. Poor Haru just has to sit there and bear it. Whoa. Oh, holy shit. Damn. What would have happened if that guy hadn't interrupted? Holy shit. I thought he'd be able to overcome it himself, but it didn't seem like it was going to happen that way. Which I guess shows the threat of whatever the hell's going on here, that you can't just overcome it on your own. He had to be snapped out of it. So she got lucky. She is going to be terrified of him, and if she tells anybody, of course, well, you goober. Of course, nobody likes her, so nobody would listen to her. I don't think she has anybody to talk to, really. So now Lewis hurt himself because of this guy falling. I wonder what the payoff of that is going to be. Like, are we going to see him? He's going to be like limping, and then later we're going to see some mysterious masked person, and they're going to be limping. I don't know how you would disguise him anyway because of the antlers, though. So never mind. Unless he takes them off, maybe they're fake. That's generally where you eat. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Nice little bit of world building. So yeah, that's actually got to be a pretty big struggle for the carnivores. Look at the tiny little squirrel, chipmunk, whatever. Like they do their best to give the best nutritional food to them that they can, but they have to want more. You know, maybe if they've just been raised on this food all their lives, then they're good with it, but there might be something deeper in there that they want more. It's so easy for one of them to almost just step on another one. Rough. Okay. And then you've got the problem of tails. Holy shit. Did he actually... Oh, he actually bit him. They're gonna put you to sleep. Reminding him of last night. Nice. Is that a gator? What is that green one? Now he's just trying to stop the fighting. Bite force? Yeah, he's got a clear advantage. How can I make it look like I'm really gonna lose this? Okay, I guess he's fine after the fall. Oh, title drop. Okay, so it's a title for one specific animal. So, like the student council president. Fascinating. Is there currently one? Who is it? Got a big bear over there in the background. I love looking around at all the different animals. Okay, so now we know what the title is all about. Yeah, I guess so. When he stopped the guy from punching him. How long indeed? Definitely see what's gonna happen. Want to see what's gonna happen with him and Netherland dwarf controlling his urges and everything, and see if we get a whoa. Hell's going on here? What the hell? Is this a play that they're putting on? I would imagine. I want to see if we check in on Haru at all. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. So he's maybe a little injured? Little owl guy. Okay. Like the Buffy episode. So yeah, he's been demoted back here now. Oh, poor Tem. I think I said goat. Alpaca. Yeah, murder. Pretty bad. Damn. Holy shit. good on him for not limping and acting like everything is fine. But yeah, the importance of showing an herbivore in this position of power, like, okay, well, there he's... When he's by himself, he's, limping, but then he does a good job of not showing the pain around other people, like, props for that. But yeah, like, the pressure of trying to show himself in a position of power while being confronted by the carnivores. Need to socialize. Alright, let's go. Let's see what he can do. Come with me, though, please. That's reasonable. So there's that smell again. What the hell's going on with that? So yeah, it's like specifically her. Why? Why? Maybe there's not even like anything, like any kind of larger plot at play. Maybe it's just her. She just smells real good. For some reason. I don't know. Her arm's bandaged. That's gotta be pretty scary for her. Lucky he didn't show up by himself. But she's acting totally normal. How do I get out of this? So why does she smell so good? Like, does nobody else notice that she smells that good? Why is it only, like, attuned to him? An ant shake? I don't think he would want that. Well, shit. Okay, they're alone. Yeah, he didn't want to be around her, but he's like, why would you want to be around me? When she doesn't even seem to care. Yeah, she's tiny. He's so awkward. Okay, do a little bit of work to make up for it. Cherryton School. Oh, okay, so Haru's actually older than him, despite being a tiny little dwarf rabbit. Damn, been her this whole time by herself. She really is tiny. I like how he's got his tail wrapped up in his suspenders. Is it because she works here alone with all these flowers that somehow she's gotten this odor on her? Maybe it is from one of the plants. Although, like, does nobody else react to her that way? It's like, I don't know if I should bring this up or how I can do it, but he doesn't want to bring it up, but he can't help it. He's like trying to see what she'll say, Because she doesn't seem to be treating him like somebody who attacked her. And it seems to be because she doesn't remember. Or at least she's saying that she doesn't remember. Wants to look at her cute little bunny face and protect her. Rabbit. Okay. He just can't express himself that well. Put myself in a rabbit's shoes. Whoa! Okay. And he doesn't know what's happening at all. Holy shit, this bunny's trying to fuck. Okay. Oh my god. He's real, like, the size difference. I don't know about that, but, what? These episodes end so fast. And what the hell was that ending? You just end right there? That was unexpected. Oh my god. What a turn. That didn't happen in Zootopia. Anyway, wow. So let's listen to the ED. Interesting ending. So now I'm very curious as to what's going on. But yeah, I mean, she was saying before that guys get with her and then they leave after a little bit. So, you know, we know she's gotten around a fair bit. And so she's like, all right, never done it with a carnivore though, but I guess I'll give it a shot. And he's like, what the Interesting. Interesting character to pair up with the awkward wolf. Well, okay, that was episode 2. Let's talk about it. Alright, episode 2 has taken some interesting turns, and I really have no idea where it's gonna go. I was pretty surprised by a lot of what happened here, especially at the end, but it was interesting the way it opened. I expected it to pick up right where we left off at the end of episode 1, and I was like, no, go back and show that. But I love him dreaming and being like in this cage in his mind, and then we flash back to that after the OP, which was amazing. Like, the song is nice, that's fine, but the visuals are really what do it for me in the OP. Like, never would I have expected. It's stop motion. It looks so good. I love the little models of Haru and Legosi. That looks so cool. And it would have been nice to see like a lot more characters in that style, but like I gotta respect them for doing that to any extent. Just seeing the two of them and getting focus on them and the little dance, that was really great. Just that they decided to do that and then went to the effort of doing it. That's so unique looking. Like, the show already looks really great and unique and has a lot of unique aspects to it. But then you go that extra mile with the OP too. That's really great. I like that a lot. But yeah, with that scene, I'm really rethinking a lot of what I was thinking in episode 1 about what exactly we're doing here with this plot. Maybe it's just because of the Zootopia influence. Even beyond that, it's just kind of what it seems like. It seems like, from in episode 1, that, he smelled this thing, got him to kind of give into his instincts and go crazy, especially with the way it showed, like, the orange and red, like, covering over his body. It seemed like it was really something unusual got in there and made him unable to resist attacking the nearest prey, which happened to be Haru. But then in this episode, I'm kind of questioning that. I'm still thinking that that's what's going on because there was a murder. Maybe that was just a one-off incident or some other carnivore or whatever just acting on their own. But for now, I'm going to still think that there is some kind of bigger plot there. Something that is causing them to act this way. And maybe it's not even a person behind it. Maybe it's just something else. I don't know, like the directions they could take this in are very interesting. Like who this person was who killed Tem, if it was even their fault, if somebody else was behind it, if something else caused it. How many more incidents like that are there going to be? There's a lot of directions you can take this, because he smells Haru again later. And so, like, she has this smell to her, being this adorable little bunny girl that you want to protect and maybe have sex with. But, like, nobody else reacts to her that way. Like, maybe that's just, like, general pheromones. Like, obviously it wasn't as strong as it had been the night before, but either way, he registers that it's the same girl. Like, he can smell her again, and the smell from the night before seemed to be coming from her. It was just, like, more intense at that time. So maybe it has to do with the plants, and she's the only person in the gardening club or whatever. Maybe there actually is something that she's working with that's getting its smell on her that made him react that way, but, like, nobody else does. I don't know, honestly, if the smell is just from her or just from something else, if there's one particular reason why he reacted to it so strongly, or if others have and will as well. If it's all just him. It doesn't seem to be that way because of the way episode 1 played out, but that would be interesting, like, from a character perspective, if it was just his own inner struggle and trying to control his baser instincts. Even if there is some outside force, causing him to act that way, it's still an interesting struggle as he's holding on to Haru, even injuring her arm and just struggling. And he's got this voice telling him, like, yeah, you want to do it, you want to give in. And I love the visual representation of that. And again, like, there could have literally been somebody around there if there is, like, a culprit behind all this. But for the most part, it's just about his inner turmoil, and I love the way that was shown, and him struggling to resist this, and how much he clearly wants it. And it was really creepy and terrifying, and poor Haru looked so scared out of her mind, and he seemed like he was gonna do it if not for being interrupted, which was really scary. But that's really interesting, and now he's so ashamed of that. I really like him as a character so far. Like I was saying in episode 1, this seems like the kind of show where its themes can relate to, like, pretty much everybody. It can relate to just broad swaths of people, even if it's just in the personality and the way that the main character acts. And that's definitely very relatable to me when I was younger, like when I was in school, just being really awkward and not knowing how to talk to people. And the scene where Haru looks up at him and he looks away and he's like, don't look at me, like he can't look her in the eye. That's very relatable. Partially because he tried to murder her the last night, but also just general social awkwardness. And they're like, you're a second year, you gotta go to the club and talk to them, you gotta learn how to be social. And he makes somebody come with him. And it's interesting because it all makes sense, like with the animal society, because he's like, well, a wolf coming by themselves, that would be kind of scary. But also there's the deeper level of him just being a socially anxious guy, and him not knowing what to say, and like being really awkward around Haru, and like wanting to ask her about the injury, because she doesn't seem like the type of person who is currently alone with the person who tried to kill her the previous night. She's acting a little strange, so he's like, I want to bring it up, but I shouldn't. And I love the visuals that we get of like going inside his head and everything. and he doesn't know what to say, and he doesn't want to bring it up, but he can't help it. But then at the end, when he's trying to figure out what to say to her, he's like, no, I don't need any thanks. I don't need anything. How do I talk to this person? Put myself in the head of a rabbit, or trying to get out of the fight. Like, I guess I could just pretend to drop some change. He's being really timid despite his size, and he's awkward, and he's very enjoyable to watch. I like that a lot, and a great use of the split screens at the end when you see him going through his mind, eyes closed, trying to figure out what to say and what to do. Meanwhile, we're watching her get completely undressed and revealing a lot more about her as well. We learned a fair bit in episode 1. She said that guys always come to her because of her adorable, cute little face that they want to protect. She's this small, timid little rabbit, but then they learn that that's not really what she's like, and there's a lot more to her, which we really saw in episode 1 with the way she stood up to her bullies, which I really liked, that she's not this timid, weak little creature, that she has a much stronger personality, and that's not what guys expect from her, and that's not what they want. So they get with her, they get what they want, and then they leave, and she just seems accustomed to that. And so that's just what she expects. And she even says, she just, without any indication at all that that's what he wants, he's just being awkward and hesitating. So because of her experiences with other guys, she just assumes immediately, oh, okay, you want sex. And she even says, you want the same thing. This is as in, that's what everybody has wanted. And so she just immediately strips and is willing to just bang the dude right there. Which it tells you a lot about what she's been through and is kind of sad. And, if you want a little rough, I'll try to enjoy it. I've never done it with a carnivore before. It's like, holy shit, what a surprising ending. And then the fact that it ended right there, I'm like, what a different situation. Once again, we're alone with Legosi and Haru, but it's a very different situation than the ending of episode 1. That was a hell of a surprise, and the bunny body, her undressing like that, is very unexpected. You don't generally expect to see sex represented in any kind of interesting ways in anime most of the time. At the most, you'll have something like this, but it's played totally comedically, where the girl will just be, it'll be some high school harem, and the girl will be coming on to him, and he'll be like, hey, and then he'll run away, and it's just stupid. But to have it be, clearly representing her history with guys, and her kind of, her sexual history, and kind of the problems that she's faced, and to have it be such a legit moment where she just actually thinks that's what he wants and is just willing to do it, and he's so awkward around it. I don't know what the hell he's gonna do at the beginning of the next episode. I hope we pick up right there, but to see that this is a show that's just being pretty genuine about sexual things. These are high schoolers, it happens, so we're not going to beat around the bush about it. That's cool that they're willing to do that. It was very surprising, and I guess it's just part of the furry agenda as well. I tried to go as long as I could without saying the word furry, but it had to come up eventually, so let's just go ahead and get it out of the way now. I wonder how, furries feel about this show. Do they just really like it, just inherently? They're very happy that it exists. But having a scene like that at the end is going to make people be like, no, not a furry. I'm not. It's fine. But yeah, it's very, very interesting. There's a little more depth added to Lewis as well, and we see how devoted he is to making sure that the show goes on. It's cool seeing a little bit of the play in the way that we did. I really like the visuals and the directing in this show. But him getting injured that way, and clearly being very hurt, but putting on such a brave face in public around people because of the importance of this, makes him seem like a little bit of a better guy than he came off in the first episode, and how much he values the drama club and these plays and the importance, especially at what happened to somebody like Tem, of showing an herbivore in a position of power in that play, and why he values that so much. That's really cool. And there's a little bit of world building. It's really nice just seeing all the animals. I always love looking around to see what kind of interesting animals there are in the background and all the designs. And I really like the art style a lot and the CG and everything. But just seeing like one of them almost get stepped on and be like, oh yeah, I would have been a pancake. Like that's just a normal thing. Sometimes they just almost get stepped on. It happens. Or people's tails hitting each other and then they get into fights over it. But the world building about food is interesting. Meat is not allowed, which makes sense in this world, which has got to be rough for carnivores. That's kind of unfair because herbivores just get to eat their normal stuff that they would eat. But carnivores, while I assume they, at least here, like I don't know how it's been in the past, I'd love some more history, but at least now, as long as this system has been in place, they've probably been raised on this food and are used to it and are fine with it. And the society does their best to provide what they need nutritionally. And I don't know how it works outside of the school and how in other places, but at least here, they give them what they can. And I'm sure they're okay with it, but there's gotta be some deeper instincts deep down where they want more than that. They want something tastier, and they're being deprived of that. And you could see that as unfair, and that's interesting. That's really cool to know about. But yeah, of course, like yeah, we don't serve pig and cow and shit here. Although, have we seen any cows around? Cow people? But it makes a lot of sense that they wouldn't do that. So yeah, I really like Legosi and just his character in general, this struggle that he's going through and the mystery behind it, whether it's all just within him, whether there's some kind of grander, great conspiracy going on here, or just like one individual carnivorous murderer, or what's happening with that. There's a lot of intrigue with that, and what's going on with Legosi. Haru has become very interesting. Even Lewis has taken on a more interesting angle. A little bit of world building. It was good. This is not really what I expected. I didn't know what this show was gonna be like. The title gets dropped in this one, Beastar, like the head of the school, like the student council president type thing. So there we go, that's what that's all about. So I guess this show is gonna be primarily in this school for the long haul, if that's where the title comes from, it seems. We'll see, I don't know. Even still, there's a lot of directions that the plot can go, but there's enough there, like thematically and with interesting characters and general ideas of where it can go, to where I'm still engaged, but enough mystery to where I will continue to be surprised as it goes forward, because I didn't know what to expect from this show, and it has been very intriguing and very unique. Especially at the end. I would not have expected that to happen, but I've really liked the way that it's played out so far. It just feels very different than most other things, and it's interesting to watch. So I can't wait to see what happens next time if we pick up right where we left off, and obviously, I feel like he probably will just run away, or maybe they'll talk about it and have a serious conversation, and he'll be like, no, that's not what I want. It's weird that she doesn't remember, although I'm kind of skeptical about that, because obviously she's not acting like, oh, this is the guy who just tried to kill me last night. She says she doesn't remember. That could be true just from the fear. Rabbits, as far as I know, can literally die of fear, like not that, like pretty easily. Like that's a thing that happens. So maybe she just got so scared that she doesn't remember. But maybe she does remember. She might have been lying, and she might just not recognize him because it was dark. She might not have known exactly who it was, because, she just sees a predator pouncing in the dark. She just tries to run, doesn't get a great look at him while he's holding on to her. So maybe she just didn't know it was him, or maybe she's just kind of become accepting of it regardless, because, what am I going to do about it? Because that's even kind of what she said in episode 1. She's like, I want you to know that even someone like me can cry out in fear and pain and stuff like that, but she also said, I don't care anymore, you can have me. So, I don't know. There's actually a lot of intrigue in what she does or doesn't remember. It would be interesting if she did remember and knew it was him, because that would be an interesting dynamic, and that would be a lot of conflict there. But also, I like the way it is now, because then we would have to, resolve that conflict somehow before we could get them into some kind of more intimate relationship like this. So I kind of like the way that it's played out so that they can immediately interact on a more friendly terms. But we'll see what's actually revealed. If she doesn't remember at all, if she just doesn't know it was him, if she finds out, or whatever, however that plays out, we'll see what it does. But I like the way it's done it so far. And I didn't know if she would like report it or to anybody if she knew it was him, but if she did, or if she ever found out, like, she has the problem of the fact that nobody in the school likes her. So I don't know, there's a lot of different directions this can go in, and I'm very intrigued so far. So yeah, let me know what you thought of this episode and that ending. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, leave your thoughts in the comments and we can talk about it some more there. Check out the description down there while you're at it for links to Patreon and all that stuff. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time.